Usually I do that on that last one, but I like that. It's a fun one. Let me get rid of this thing. So let's all catch our breaths together, or breaths. Yeah, let's just breathe together. So deep breath in and a real long, noisy exhale. But relax when you do it. So deep breath in. Let's do that two more times. Deep breath in, noise on the way out. Relax when you do it. Make noise, feel it, vibrate it. Let it work for you. Discover what happens. Just notice it. So deep breath in. And let's do one more really deep breath in and a really long exhale, letting go of every single thing that was in the very last moment, knowing that the next breath is brand new. So deep breath in. So did this light shifting make a difference? All right, guys and gals. Not that it's easy as pie for women to be in balance with their feminine energy. Boy, this light is really obnoxious. Okay, I agree. That was easy. We're getting a new one. You see what I'm saying? People out there, I may be shadowy, but I'm a light side too. So as we're here now, with the jokes aside, in the energy here, and that's, yeah, turn the light off for a second so you guys can see that prettier, because it's a pretty picture. Pretty picture. It is a pretty picture. And it's a wonderful depiction of that divine. And I don't care about the darkness for a while. If you guys want to just sit with that. But I also want the lights on, actually, because I want you guys looking at each other. We'll get to the pictures in a bit, too. When you're sitting here in this moment with each other like this, how's it feel? Yeah, feel how I feel all every Sunday. How's it feel energetically right now? Do you know the difference? Can you sense the difference? Can you feel the difference? Are you in tune with that aspect of yourself? The both the feminine, the masculine, the yin, the yang. We do a little reading first, which even though everybody here is probably affluent in some of this stuff, brighter. Thank you, because I want it all. And it's about time, dagnabbit. Sidebar, but anyway, do a little reading, even though you guys know. I just want to put this online. So there's a difference between anything I ever say here that I think you don't know. It's not about that. It's putting it online is a big difference because our knowing sometimes gets reawakened with. We all know everything. We always have. So it's when we reawaken this stuff. So each of us have both male and feminine energy within us. The challenge today is to have these two energies balanced in order to feel the harmony within. Our feminine or female aspect is our intuitive self. This is the deepest, wisest part of ourselves. It is receptive and the doorway through which the higher intelligence of the universe can flow. It is the receiving end of the channel. Our female communicates to us through our intuition, these deep inner promptings, otherwise known as gut feelings, a vibe that comes from deep within us. If we do not hear her through our waking state, she attempts to reach us through our dreams, our emotions, and or our physical body. If we learn to listen to her, we will be guided perfectly. Sometimes I read so fast, so I don't let it get in. Because there's a higher mind going on always, too. The masculine or male aspect is action. Our ability to do things, to think, to speak, to move our bodies. It is the outflow end of the channel. The feminine receives the universal creative energy, and the masculine expresses it in the world through action. This giving us a creative, thus giving us a creative process. Our female is inspired by a creative impulse and communicates us through a feel, through a feeling. I think it's just a typo. And our male acts it on it by speaking it, moving it or doing whatever is appropriate. The union of our feminine and masculine energies within each individual is the basics of all creation. Our female intuition plus our male action equals creativity. In order to live harmonious and creative life, you need to have both your inner female and male energies fully developed and functioning correctly together. To fully integrate the inner male and female, you need not put the female in the guiding position. This is her natural function. She is your intuition, the door to your higher intelligence. So I'm going to just read that last sentence. To fully integrate the inner male and female, you need to put the female in the guiding position. This is her natural function. She is your intuition, the door to your higher intelligence. So sometimes as men we need to breathe into that, because we've been in a patriarchal society so long that that is not an option. Matter of fact, how many jokes have been made about men being willing to stop and ask for directions? Just that alone says a lot. Your male listens to her and acts on her feelings. The true function of male energy is absolute clarity, directness, and a passionate strength based on what the universe inside of you, coming through your female, tells you. This process is done naturally. No, it isn't. Yes, it is, but it's done internally. This process is done internally. What each of us need to do is let our intuition guide us and then be willing to follow the guidance directly and fearlessly. To help the process, you could visualize, if you were the woman, the male aspect as standing behind, supporting, protecting, backing you up. For the male image would be reversed. You may wish to visualize the female aspect as guiding, empowering, nurturing, supporting you. When the two aspects are flowing and are balanced, you will feel a sense of being strong, open, clear, creative, channel, with power, wisdom, peace, and love flowing through you. Okay, so there's some gobbledygook words. And words are words. I love words. I'm a poet. I'm a writer. So words are words. But sometimes words stop right here in front of us. That's why I said I just wanted to put it online for a minute. Now let's breathe into everything that means. If you're into meditation today, one of the things we talked about is that we were born in this world, regardless of whatever gender we came in, whatever physical body we came in, perfectly balanced in our male and our female aspects. There was no issues going on there. But then society happened to us. Gender roles happened to us. Environment changes happened to us. And we started growing and growing more into a gender role that took that masculine and feminine natural harmony and brought it out of harmony. And some of what Jerry was talking about last week is with all the different things going on in the world right now. Now, a lot of it we got to understand, there's always been homosexuality in the world. But there's also now a lot more media and media attention and access to information than there ever has been before. I mean, some of the terms of some of the things have been around since the dawn of time, Greek orgies and blah, blah, blah. I don't need to get into that. But in the feminine and the masculine, there is, homo means same, hetero means of two. It's simply words that we get stuck on in gender roles, and watching what's going on in our society with transgender and homosexuality and all the different things going on that will make us think that for us to get in touch with that feminine side, not every one of us, meaning men, that we have to somehow become gay. And they don't want to do that. Now, I don't want to do that. And I don't blame them. It's because that's not a natural process of owning your feminine energy unless it's there. If that's a natural state of being within you, to be homosexual, bisexual, whatever, and you start working on your feminine energy and you discover that later in life or early in life or whatever, rock on, cool. That was already there. That had nothing to do with owning your feminine energy. Just like owning masculine energy doesn't suddenly mean that you're going to be a lesbian and attracted to women. But dare I say this, how much easier has it been for our feminine counterparts or female counterparts to be affectionate, sensual with each other when sexuality wasn't even part of the game than it has been for us male counterparts? I haven't gotten that cozy and fluffy with any of my male friends. But I've seen a lot of my sisters be able to just hug on each other and love on each other and dote on each other. And in that, I've discovered something over the years through my own self and through the programming of my own self. Margie and I did workshops way before we ever did the kind of stuff that Scott and I and she leads in our Art Sellers Mentor workshop with this emergence workshop. And all these people from California were saying that we're all bi. We're all bi anyway. Ouch. And I'm like, I didn't buy that. I didn't dig. I didn't. Oh, yeah. I didn't believe it. I didn't dig it. I didn't honor it. It's like, you may be, but I'm not. I've liked women. I've always liked women, and that's where I'm hanging out. But the feminine energy thing I got, and that ability to express it, I had a very interesting workshop one day where I have, and don't think I'm shallow, because this is how it's just going to come out of my male, this hot blonde girlfriend sitting beside me doing the workshop. I'm like, wow, she's doing the workshop and stuff. She was my surfer beach bunny girl. So she was that for me in that moment as a young 25-year-old. Margie remembers her. But there was also a friend of mine named Chris White in the middle of a process. And we had already done some workshops together, so he had become my brother. And now he was processing some heavy stuff, real emotional, intimate stuff, crying in the middle of the room, and I'm stuck between running over here and holding him and hugging him or being cool in front of my hot blonde girlfriend. I'm glad I chose to hug my brother that day. Because I grew as a man. I grew in my masculine energy. And I didn't want to kiss him. I kissed his face. Matter of fact, I think that was the first time I kissed a man's face other than my Uncle Charlie or my dad, which is an Italian European thing to do. And she saw and everything. And all that's going on because I'm in a workshop, so you're processing anyway. But it was a wonderful moment in my life. It was a wonderful moment for me to be able to truly get into that next aspect of myself. Because I had been comfortable with the feminine. God's spirit, all that is, had gifted me with a balance within my life that I've always been very intuitive. I've always been very nurturing. I just didn't understand the energies. If anything, I backed off my masculine energy because I was afraid it was going to hurt somebody because it was so much more powerful than the feminine. What the hell did I know? What the hell did I know? This universe seeks balance no matter what. So as we see in the media, all these people changing genders and all that crap, hey, look at the bigger picture. In the big cosmic picture, nothing's out of balance. It's always going to be in balance. But on the earthly plane, in the human dance, we've been out of balance in our feminine and masculine energies for quite a while. And the feminine have been taking a beating from the masculine, or should I say, the females have been taking a beating from the males. But it's only truly because the males are so afraid of that within themselves. It's not that we're afraid of women, although we played with it and joked. But as I sat here with my brothers, my stuff down there was like retreating too. It's that place for us that we know how powerful the feminine is. And it exhilarates us and it excites us and it scares the crap out of us all at the same time. There's less fear that I've noticed throughout my 25 metaphysical journey of women to masculine energy that there's been fear maybe of men. And there's a difference. There's a difference between fearing a man and fearing masculine energy. More men have been afraid of women. You ever see, it's depicted in many, many, many silly movies where just the average guy is standing there and then there's like, you know, the bikini swim team comes and he's just a puddle of ridiculous mush. Ergo male. We're so afraid of the power of the feminine because as much as I've known sisters who would see the male swim team, they might Google and ogle and like it, not Google, ogle at it, but the energy is different. It's just different. They don't become 8-year-old little boys that saw a boob and got all like that, just everything changed in their whole world. But it's an energy thing, and understand that because somewhere inside of us, we know that we're supposed to follow the woman. We know we're supposed to follow the feminine energy. It doesn't. We did a ceremony a long time ago. I kind of have done this talk a little bit when we did. I bowed to the woman before me, and all of the men sat here and bowed to the feminine, because I've looked, and as I've researched and as we've done different talks throughout religions, not a lot of the women were being honored and I say venerated in a good way. It was all about the men and everything that they've added to spirituality. I watched a comedian the other night who's talking about all the different world religions, and it's like, it is pretty funny. What a vivid imagination that we have. I mean, Vishnu was born out of the belly button of a lotus flower and all kinds of crap, and he's blue. That's imagination, man. There has to be vivid imagination for all the different religious stories that we've had, but they're all trying to teach that balance, that harmony. All of them have that in them. They all have the magic, as far out as their stories will be. And I'm willing to watch and look and research the far out stories with Nibu and all the Anunnaki and all the crazy crap you can possibly look up. There's always that sacred feminine that's like right there. And all the gender roles that we have in society have totally discombobulated you. So can we go to the next slide? And I think you'll be able to see this without the lights. No, let's turn the lights off and see if we can get formatted. Adjusting, please wait. Okay, so if we can turn those lights off. So we're looking at some of the, you guys don't need to see me. Can you see past me though? Okay, so as we're looking at these energies, and we may be familiar with them, but I want us to take some time, perhaps like actually go on this side. Take some, say again? Looking at these two words and understanding how we can balance ourselves, because that's what this talk is a lot about, is the how. It's like, so let's look at these words. First, right side by side, female, nurturance. I don't want to say versus, but with its counterpart. Say again? Contrast to protection. So what does nurturance mean for you? And you guys can shout out hugs, holding. Anybody, male or female. I didn't hear. Feeding, nurturing. So that's that feminine aspect, okay? Has a man ever fed a child? Of course, right? Protection. Male, protection. So what does that mean to you? Hold them off, hold them at bay. Watching. Shelter. Guard, defending. All that's that masculine energy, right? Anybody ever want to mess with a mama bear? So within the feminine is that protective, and within the masculine is that nurturing. So it's always there at all the time. And we may be coming out of balance with it because maybe as men, socially, maybe not this group of guys, because I know a few of you and I know how loving you are with your kids. I watched it, I've seen it, how nurturing you really are. But socially, a lot of the stigma has been, baby goes over there to the women. All the guys are over here smoking cigars and playing cards. But that protective energy comes up in both of us. So the next one, gathering. What does gathering mean? Bringing together. A nest. Picking the vegetables. A bringing into me. Hunting. Going out and finding it. Work. Killing. It's that masculine energy. But we know that both, again, happen within us. So listening. Now as we're getting into a real receptive. So like right now, no one's talking and you're listening to me. You're all in the feminine receptive part of it. Now you can be blocking it and talking the whole time in your head and say this guy's doesn't know what he's talking about. That would be that deflecting or that talking, speaking, masculine energy. And what the balance that the female is trying to tell the male is to listen. Just listen. I'll tell you what to do. And then the male speaks it. Yes, I will do that. You, Bob, Joe, Fred, come, we will do this. We will build this thing. I have been guided how to do it. Let me tell you, so we all can build it. And he speaks it out, that energy. And he gives it form, and he gives it creative form because he was guided how to do it with all the dreams that came through the feminine when he listened. Feeling. Guys don't like to feel. We prefer to think. And what Scott and I, and Margie and I, or meaning all of us, have been doing this drill for years with people, getting them from here to here, from that thinking to feeling, from that thinking to feeling. And that doesn't mean that this is man, this is woman. It means this is more masculine energy. This is more feminine energy. We're going to get to that in a moment at the very bottom. So we go into intuitive perception and logical perception. So what does intuitive perception mean to you guys? How would that, what words would come up to an intuitive perception? How does it feel? Gut feeling, excuse me. An understanding. Those are all intuitive perceptions. So what's a logical perception? This fact, that fact. It looks like. And I was just going to say that that's that, like, I can fit 3 chairs in the back of that car. That's that spatial perception too. That logical looks like factual room enough for this and that and the shape of this. That's that logical perception. And it's, man, I know a lot of women that are better at it than I am. So it doesn't mean they're more manly. In that aspect, their masculine energy is up, higher, vibrating at a higher frequency, more vibrations per second, whatever you want to. That nuance for them is working. But we have to have the ability to have our intuitive perception too. And we can only do it how, gentlemen? Listening. We're watchers. I'm a girl watcher. I'm a girl watcher. That's a guy thing. We're very visual. What we're being asked to do right now is to listen so that that intuitive understanding and all those feelings that we have come up in us and we go, I don't know, man, I got a gut feeling. We say it all the time. I don't know about that guy. Got a gut feeling about him. Now, Bob won't want to be telling Wayne right now, yep, just got in touch with my feminine side, and I don't trust him. But it's the truth of what just happened in that moment for Bob and Wayne. Synthesis versus analysis. So we have the understanding of these words. Synthesis means what to you guys? Bringing together, coming, harmony, weaving, joining. Analysis. Truth. But what do we do when we analyze something? We pick at it. Is that what you just said? Look at it. Okay. We look at it and we pick at it. Sorry. But we do. We separate it. Oh, yeah. Chair A, chair B. Yes. Oh, the symmetry. Okay. Now we can logically see it's going to fit in that space. We had to analyze it first. But we took it apart to do that. And that's generally what we do when we analyze things within ourselves. And men are really good at it. This is why when we get in emotional conversations in relationships, things go south quickly sometimes. Because we're analyzing every single isolated incident and go, but there's no reason to feel that way about this. But when you put them all together and you feel the perception that they had with what they knew was going on when you were analyzing, because they're feeling, there is something for them to react to in those moments when we get boneheaded in a good way. Containing versus contributing. It's kind of like the gathering thing. The containing means I'm holding it within me, that hug thing, that nurturing, very mama bear protective. I'm going to contain it within me. Also, just like the life that you women bear to keep us going on is contained within your body, while we are distributing on every level. From the moment of conception, we've distributed the seed to the containment area of the womb to grow and nurture that embryo into a new life. But it wouldn't happen without the distribution center. So that's part of what male aspects are in the distribution versus containment. And to really see these and understand these words is going to be our key to learning how to balance, because we We are the masters. You are the gurus. You do understand. So as we redefine these words and put them online in our bodies in a different way, we call upon those selves and go, hey, distributor, hey, container, and recognize that that's masculine and feminine, and then we can get into the sacredness of it in a moment. But first we need to get through to our heads. So going further, mercy versus discipline. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think it's not going to be the masculine part of me that's going to show mercy. It's going to be the feminine part. It's going to be that nurturing, understanding, intuitive part of me, because the disciplinarian in me is going to be going on facts, going to be going on protection, he's going to be going on hunting and thinking, and he's going to just want to, boom. Again, doesn't mean that females don't have disciplinarians within. We're talking about energy, not male and female. Masculine, feminine, not boy, girl. Pleasure versus industry. Makes me glad I'm on my left side a lot with this one, because I like to receive pleasure. But how many, look at the social stigma of, say, the 50s and 60s or 40s and 50s, where men went out and worked to the bone, and then pleasure was like 65 and later. And it's been wrapped up in physical pleasure. Men are trying to seek that through their sexuality, where women can sit with each other in a meadow, naturally, feminine energy, not women, but innately, and just enjoy the moment. They know how to be more, where men are into that doing. It's very hard to enjoy something when you're sitting there doing something all the time. You don't have any peace. Flaccidity or softness versus tone and firmness. Masculine and feminine energies. Think of our genitals and all that stuff. But then just think of it as ice being masculine and water being feminine. And understanding that within that same element is both. And you get to see it. You get to see the hardness of ice. You throw an ice cube at me, it hits me in the head. Ouch. You throw a cup of water at me, it hits me in the head, and just wet. So it's understanding that within that same, and water is a perfect example for it, because it's the same element, and we all understand water, and in one aspect of that element could be soft and nurturing and silky, and another one, because what if it's a bigger block of ice? Throw a bucket on me, and it's still not going to hurt me, I'll be soaked. Throw a block of ice on me, you may knock me out. You may end my physical life, because this head is vulnerable to big, heavy objects. So anyway, in, under, down, out, up, above. Inward, the yin, bear medicine, within, under and down. All have been earth, Gaia, has been feminine energy. We're out, we send out masculine energy, Father Sky, that yang, sunlight energy has been deemed masculine energy. And with it comes coolness and or warmth. That soothing of the feminine. Man, I tell you what, thank God for women, for me, for feminine energy. In the moments of my life where I've needed the energy so much to cool me down. And I hope you understand what I'm meaning in that moment, because sometimes it had nothing to do with sexuality or a kiss or anything like that at all. It was just the power of that woman standing in it and owning it, that was able to just cool the flame that was out of balance, because I was too in my right side and too stuck in my head and too on fire. And where we can bring that to the women, to the female, the warmth, bring that fire energy, bring that ability to take that and run it up the inner flute and have them on fire and passionate just as much. Merger, doing, or being, doing. We just talked about this a moment ago. Merger versus boundary setter. That's a good one. I mean, think about this one. It's like women are more out to, sure, come on, oh, Sally's going to join the group now. Who's Bob? If you check Bob out, who does he think he is? I don't know if we want to let him in the circle yet. Bob, you're on probation. And that's that protective energy. And women have it. Again, this is not male, female. It's masculine and feminine. Because when you see that part come out in women, it's very catty. And we think it's feminine. but it's actually masculine energy. They're protecting their turf. They're basically going around and peeing everywhere on all the stuff. No, you cannot come in. Yeah. Go to your room, Brian. Earth, water elements, air, fire elements. We just talked about that. The air, and air is also, like if you get into astrology and things like that, air is the thought. Mercury is the planet that rules thought. Blah, 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 blah. It's a very heady place to be. It's very masculine in energy. And fire energy, it's fire energy. It's passion. It's creative energy. It's snake medicine. It's all kinds of passion of masculine energy. It's that seed that will fertilize something that's going to create who knows what. A human, a pear, an animal, pick a critter. Whatever it is, it's that fire energy seed. And then yin, shady side of the hill, and yang, the sunny side of the hill. So as we're looking at all these different things, these are giving us the roadmap to the how. Because I'm not going to stand up here ever, well, I might someday, I don't know, and say, I know the way, and it's exactly the way, and this is how you should do it. And to call my own self out, I have said time and time and time again, that if you ever meet any speaker, guru, blah, 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 that leads you to them as opposed to leads you to you, then run. Because you guys have the answers. So the end of this talk isn't the solution. This is. This is the roadmap. This is the how. Now, what exercises can we create for ourselves to do these kind of things? What meditations, and I'm looking at like what I brought, and I'm not necessarily going to go there, but what meditations can we do to help us? Well, if we could just keep these words in our mindset, not our mind, but our mindset, in our bodies, let them flow around, and be aware and be conscious in my own walk where I'm coming from at any given point is going to let me know where I'm at in my masculine and feminine energies. Now, some of the things like when we're doing this speed healing, and I've been doing tuning forks a lot, and this week I'm going to be doing chakra balancing. It's really the same thing, just going to be doing a little bit differently. But it's balancing the energies within each chakra, but understanding that in your chakras, it is the yin and yang. Every single chakra has a yin and yang to it. So you're also balancing the masculine and feminine energies there. So say I'm having a problem being grounded. Boy or girl, doesn't matter. Go sit on the ground. I would invite you to sit on the ground naked and really let that root chakra connect. Have a thin piece of linen if you need to, but as natural as a cloth as you can have, and put your root right on the ground and breathe into this and ask her or him to show you what they need. And to do step by step and knowing that, okay, I'm sitting on the ground, this is feminine, this is Mother Earth. I'm going to be drawing up feminine right through that area, right through my root chakra, and having her rejuvenate me, harmonize me. But I can do the same thing by standing up in front of the sky and standing as tall as I can and reaching as high as I can and focusing on that father sky energy, that sunlight, that masculine energy of hit me right in the crown chakra and just flowing right through my body until it meets the woman. And they do this energetic dance. It's going, if you could see it, man, it's amazing. I mean, you look on cosmic pictures on the internet and stuff like that, and it's really cool the way they depict it. And sometimes science can actually start measuring energy. And the part of you that I'm going to just throw myself out there and like open for judgment is, I see that stuff. I see it when it's happening in full volume and when I'm cleaner. So sometimes my vision isn't as groovy as I would hope it to be, but I've seen some awesome things energetically when it's come to male and female energy. I've told you before, when I've seen two people make up that were hurting and being pissy with each other, whatever, but when they made up, the magic that happened between their two hearts is something that can be seen, felt, and measured. And as, the more open we are, the more we'll be able to get to feel, see those things. But that's what's going on in your body, just to give you like a visual of it. So use these things. I don't even remember what my next picture is, but let's go there just for fun. Oh, yeah. One of the most powerful ways to begin the healing and harmonizing the feminine and masculine is to acknowledge, listen, and respond to the energies of your own inner male and female selves. So it's kind of really wrapping up everything we just said. That's catching my breath because I'm talking fast today. Acknowledge, listen, and respond. So, acknowledge, feminine or masculine word. I gave you the color. Coyote boy. And by the way, these colors are only because I have a black background and couldn't do white and black. Because pink and blue is a fraud, just like the image of Santa Claus came about from the Coca-Cola company. The pink and blue gender stereotype happened in the garment industry in the 20s and the 30s. The research is out there. I've done the research. It's not what the talk was about, so I didn't write the facts down. But as you do the research, you'll find out that pink and blue had nothing to do with early, iconic days of yore, man, woman. It didn't. We weren't born into this life with the two colors. That's something that's happened in this country in the 1900s. Just like the Santa Claus icon and all that crap. So that I just did that for purposes to play with it and to see how the social, a lot of this is, you have to decipher now through all the social things that have happened and all the social things that we're being programmed with, like boys play with trucks and girls play with dolls, and realize that gender programming environmentally and all those things we do and we can undo. And it's not about forgiving and letting a mistake we made. It's about bringing back into harmony, although forgiving is a great thing. I forgot, as I said forgiving, I'm like, yeah, we're doing that too. But meaning it's not about forgiving any misguidance in you. It's about bringing back into a place of harmony through those words, through this concept. Can I have the next picture? Because it's just another groovy male, female. So we can get to that again. To totally know that every molecule, every fiber of our being is wrapped and entwined in one. We truly are one. We're one, man. This is the biggest illusion of it all. And it's such a wonderful illusion, too, because we get to dance in it with each other and discover the wonders of this. So I'm all for practicing and having the wonder, but to know that I can't go anywhere without my female. I can't go anywhere without my sister. And I can't go anywhere without my brother. And dare I ever try again. Thank you. Home Talk Awesome.
bring it with us.